there is something you've been having a deep desire to do, but you've been procrastinating. You've been making excuses, or you just don't feel qualified. You don't feel like you're good enough. You feel like you have to be perfect in order to do this thing. When you are operating in that way, you're living in the spirit of fear. And the spirit of fear doesn't come from God. It comes from the enemy. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So even if you don't feel like you're equipped to do something, if God called you to do it, He's going to train you. He's going to develop you. But you have to answer the call. He can't force you to do anything. So you have to have the courage to take that first step, to take that leap. Think about Moses. He had a stuttering problem. So when God told him he was going to lead the Israelites out of slavery, he was like, why me? I'm not fit to be a leader. I'm not even a good speaker. I'll be stuttering. And God was probably like, so you're the one that I've chosen. You either going to answer the call or you're going to suffer the consequences. I'll even use myself as an example. Anytime I make these videos, there's always some level of anxiety because ever since I was a little girl, I've always had a shaky voice due to anxiety. So when elders will prophesize over me like, you're going to be a preacher, you're a prophet, you're this, you're that, I'm like, me? I'm like, not with this shaky voice. Like, I'm terrified to speak in front of people. And people all throughout my life, I would constantly have strangers, ever since I was a little kid, come up to me and ask me for advice or ask me for guidance. And even when I was a little girl, I would have these moments with my friends where I would preach. And I tried to run from it for so long because I just didn't feel like I was good enough. I felt like an imposter. But even so, that strong desire I had just wouldn't go away. I just couldn't shake it. And it's because God put that desire there. If God put a desire in your heart, it won't go away. It's not going to just be a little phase. It's going to be something that kills you inside when you're not pursuing it, when you're not doing it. God does not expect perfection, nor does He expect you to be fearless. He expects you to be obedient. He expects you to have courage. So even though there's always some level of fear and anxiety attached to me living in my purpose, I still do it anyway because it gives me life. If I wasn't doing it, I would die inside. So I'm like, look, Lord, whatever you want me to do, I'm going to do it, scared and all. A part of you procrastinating and making excuses is because of your ego. You're afraid to be embarrassed. You're afraid to fail. You're afraid to mess up. But there's no such thing as messing up with God. If you're walking with God, if you're doing what He's called you to do, even if you're scared as hell, even if you feel like an imposter, even if you have things that you battle, you still do it anyway, God is going to lead you down the right path. God is going to lead you to the desires of your heart. He's not going to fail you. You just have to show up. You just have to answer the call. Even though I've been in the wilderness and I've been in intense training, I have so much joy walking with God and doing what He's called me to do. No matter how much it scares me, no matter how challenging it is, it gives me so much life. It gives me something to live for. If you don't want to grow old with regrets, you got to take that leap. And you got to be prepared for turbulence. Don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. Oh, now that I'm living in my purpose and I'm living in my calling, everything is just going to be honky-dory. Wrong. It's actually the complete opposite. But you got to trust God to be your pilot. So even if there's turbulence, the plane ain't going to crash because God is driving it. If you need coaching, if you need healing, if you need guidance, I would love to work with you. Check out my website, www.coachwithkai.com. And I pray this message was helpful. If it was, make sure you like it, make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you soon. Bye.